Greetings. Our Frederick Riddle here with another Christian News and Views. This is episode 2617, and this is Monday. And our topic today is going to be Ukraine. It's been a while since we talked about them, but time to do it again. A U.S. document on security guarantees for Ukraine is completely ready, and Kiev is waiting for a time and place for it to be signed. President Vladimir Zelensky said on Sunday, indicating that weekend talks with Russia in Abu Dhabi made some progress. For us, security guarantees are first and foremost guarantees of security from the United States. And I'll get into that in a little bit. The document is 100% ready, and we are waiting for our partners to confirm the date and place when we will sign it, Zelensky told a news conference during a visit to Vilnius, the Lithuanian capital. The document will then be sent for ratification to the U.S. Congress and the Ukrainian parliament, he said. On Friday and Saturday, Ukrainian and Russian negotiators held their first trilateral meeting, including U.S. mediators in Abu Dhabi, to discuss Washington's framework for ending the almost 4-year-old war, but no deal emerged. However, Moscow and Kiev both said they were open to further dialogue, and more discussions were expected next Sunday in Abu Dhabi, a U.S. official told reporters immediately after the weekend talks. In Abu Dhabi, the 20-point U.S. plan and problematic issues are being discussed. There were many problematic issues, but now there are fewer, Zelensky said. He said Moscow wants to do everything possible to get Ukraine to abandon eastern regions Moscow has been unable to capture since its full-scale invasion that triggered the war. But Kiev, he said, had not budged from its position that Ukraine's territorial integrity must be upheld. These are two fundamentally different positions, Ukraine's and Russia's. The Americans are trying to find a compromise, Zelensky said, adding that all sides must be prepared to compromise, including the Americans. And that last part is kind of I'll deal with that first. I believe that Trump has got him this far, but there's going to be a decision somewhere down the line where he has to reevaluate his position and decide where exactly he wants to make his final stand. I'm not going to claim that I have the ear of the president, nor that I even know what the president is thinking. Some people will say they do, but I'm not going to say that. Indications, however, are that he is a little bit tired of Putin, Putin's delaying tactics and so forth. He's had issues with Zelensky as well. And so he has to just make a decision which way he's going to lean. I think he's going to lean towards Zelensky. I think he's going to look at that as being the best overall view, basically to guarantee the security of Ukraine, which apparently has pretty much been agreed upon, and to take a stand there and insist that Russia has to give up its desire for Ukrainian territory. That seems to be the dividing issue. And somewhere along the line, he's either got to go one way or another. I personally think he will. It may be some kind of a compromise that may be not exactly what Zelensky has in mind, but something he can accept. That's one of the things in all this negotiation is that Trump has put himself into a situation which he's good at, and that is to understand what the Russians will, not what they want, but what they need, what will make them ultimately willing to sign an agreement, and what the Ukrainians need. and what will eventually make them willing to sign it. Now, it looks like to me, Ukrainians are already on board. The problem is getting Russia on board. So here's my opinion. That was opinion there. So, but here's the what I wrote out. Um, Progress is a slow process and may be defined differently by the different parties involved. But the fact that all parties are willing to continue to meet is itself a sign of progress. I think Zelensky's understanding is the best, at least in my opinion. It rests its case on the security safeguards that America has promised. A framework based on those guarantees should move them closer to a peaceful conclusion. Even Russia can find some, I don't know if you say common ground, but some neutral ground, if you will, where they can at least accept these American safeguards. They don't have much choice. If they refute it, the war continues, and they will probably eventually. Well, Putin could eventually be ousted out of power because he started this war. What was supposed to be a 3-day war, and now it's into 4 years, and so he's got to be on the bubble. He's got to be someone who is a little bit nervous, and so that is something that the American safeguards. He can actually go back to his people and say, "Well, this is what best we could get. Boom, 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 and this is what we're going to agree to," and that might, in his uh, thinking, that might guarantee his remaining in power. So, but always remember that Russian adherence to any agreement must be monitored closely. There's a history there, a history of Russia not. Well, they might agree to something. They may even honor it for a while. But the day comes when it's not to their advantage anymore, and they just arbitrarily break it and go their way again, causing more consternation. It is too early to celebrate at this point in time, but maybe you could start planning the celebration. Just don't get too excited. So hopefully this has been something of um, an encouragement to you. There is progress being made. How it's very, very slow, but that's the nature of the beast, so to speak. I always try to inform you, encourage you, and inspire you. Hopefully, I've done at least that the one, and hopefully all three. In the meantime, just remind you that TNR Independent Books, which is a Christian indie publisher as well as bookstore, and we stand ready to, if you are a Christian who wants to get your book published, give us a look. Come to our bookstore, and in there you can find out more about what we offer, what we expect, and if that's a fit for you, then we want to hear from you. Well, that's been it for today. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode.